the old lawman, Deputy Dog. I wear the legal star on my chest, and I'm the legal star of this cotton-picking show. Me and my natural-born buddies, Muskrat, Vincent Van Gogh, and Tycoon, are all set to bring you a passel of rib-tickling and hair-raising adventures. So you all get comfortable out there, because here we go!
Welcome to The Drop. I'm your host, as always, Fighter Chaos, and this week I've got a couple things to cover, of course, like always, but just want to let you know that, I'm trying to limit my time on working on anything on the computer. I hurt my back a couple days ago, and it still hurts sitting here in this chair, even though it's a better chair than I had before, a lot more comfortable, but still sitting in it for too long does hurt, and I want to actually heal up and not agitate my back anymore, so, just letting you guys know that I still have content coming out, but I may be a bit slower or might be a bit more gimped, I guess, than usual. Though hopefully by next week I should be just fine. I mean, as long as I keep resting up. As for what's planned, we've got DC news, movie news, and a little bit of FGC news for y'all. So without further ado, let's start. So, the first thing I've got here is that director Michael Bay, you know him, Michael Explosions Bay, has been announced to be the director for the upcoming Lobo movie, Lobo the DC Comics character, with, let me try to see who's the writer, Jason Fuchs, can't be that way, can't pronounce it that way, is it? Fuchs is his last name. He was hired to write Lobo back in 2016, and as I said, Michael Bay will be directing, and that this movie would certainly fit an R rating. And as for my opinion on it, oddly enough, I think Michael Bay works perfectly for Lobo, knowing the kind of character Lobo is. If you guys never read the Lobo comics or even seen him in the Superman animated series, he's kind of a loudmouth, swears, funny, likes violence. It's right up Michael Bay's alley. So it might be actually a good thing to have him direct this. I know a lot of people don't like him for this and that, and I don't care for the Transformers franchise myself, the movie franchise. I do like Transformers. Let me reiterate. I like Transformers. I don't like Transformers movies. And I didn't like the Ninja Turtles movies either, although I think he was just a producer on those. But I don't think he's terrible either. I just think, you give him something like this, though, and he might surprise you. If you're a fan of Lobo, it might turn out good. And now, as I'm trying to move on, my computer is freezing. So, and I don't edit these. I just edit out the silences. So you hear all that. Okay, here we go. Let's move on. For fans of this old comic that's been around for about 25 years or more. It's been told for over 25 years because I'm older than 25, and this comic's older than me actually. But whatever, it's been around for a long time, definitely more than 25 years. That's not wrong. But anyways, Usagi Yojimbo, the old comic that was created by Stan Sakai, has been optioned by Gaumont to be an animated TV to be an animated TV series. First published in 1984. Usagi Yojimbo, if you don't know. Okay, it doesn't say what else jeez. Thanks for making me look bad. Anyways, Sakai, James Wan's Atomic Monster, and Dark Horse Entertainment's Mike Richardson and Keith Goldberg, or James Wan, rather, will serve as executive producers with Chris Tung as co-executive producer, and the announcement was made by Gaumont's president of animation, Nicholas Atlin. Quote, Usagi Yojimbo has been much sought after for many years, and we are honored to work with Stan Sakai to translate his multi-generational stories into the first ever TV series. Usagi Yojimbo's blend of history and mythology, clever balance between action and comedy, and real-world touch points, combined with the supernatural, together with the passionate fan base that Stan has already amassed, makes this an incredibly exciting property to develop with our partners Atomic Monster and Dark Horse Entertainment. Okay, I get it now. Atomic Monster is the people helping animate this. There's more about the Bleeding Cool article about, how good Usagi Yojimbo is, of course. if you guys don't know about Usagi Yojimbo, again, what it's about, not who created it, but what it's about, Usagi Yojimbo takes place in a rich fantasy setting in 17th century Japan, features a diverse world of anthropomorphic characters. Miyamoto Usagi, otherwise known as Usagi Yojimbo, is a Ronin warrior with the heart of a hero. And he goes around fighting for helping people, encountering dinosaurs, yokai, cats, bats, bounty hunters, and even aliens. Usagi Yojimbo has been on the TV screen before, having appeared in all 3 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series, and all that. So, if you're a fan of Usagi Yojimbo, wanted to finally start his own solo series on animated, boom! You finally got it. Let's hope it turns out good. Now, this is really cool. I'm a fan of this certain franchise. It's been around for decades. Conan the Barbarian is in works at Amazon, from Ryan Condal, Miguel Sapochnik, and Warren Littlefield. Amazon is developing a drama series, Conan, based on the books by Robert E. Howard. By Amazon, created and written by Condal. Of course, like I said, Robert E. Howard's the character creator way back, but this series, of course, just to clarify, this series is created by Condal. Conan retells his Conan's character story via a return to his literary origins. Driven and out of his tribal homelands, Conan wanders the mysterious and treacherous world of civilization, where he searches for purpose in a place that rejects him as a mindless savage. I'm really down with that. Then it fits back to how I always wanted to see, like, the actual story, the actual book version, original version of Conan, be represented. Conan admits to having a personal obsession with material. Oh, Condal, sorry. Wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute. Conan, the character, has an obsession with his own stories? What? He ought to be a good writer for this then. Like he said, he really wants to return to the original Robert E. Howard literary works and present as faithful to the spirit of the character. Conan the Barbarian, aka Conan the Cimmerian, was created by Robert E. Howard in 1932 in a series of fantasy stories published in Weird Tales magazine. And you guys know about the movies that Schwarzenegger starred in, and of course the Jason Momoa version too. As for anything else about it, it just says about the actual producers, like I said, Littlefield and all them, Deadline, and their previous shows they worked on. The Eddie for Netflix, The First for Hulu, Sci-Fi's Blood Drive. So, well, what makes me happy is that they're actually trying to do a actual book proper version of Conan. And people in the comments, of course, are saying, nobody wants this. I want Schwarzenegger back. He's old. Someone else, of course, other people saying it. I'm asking for it. I want to see an actual Robert E. Howard Conan, and I'm one of them. So good on you. I'm glad this is getting made and it's actually faithful to the original books. All right, what's next? In some good news for DC, I wish Marvel would start doing this. DC has revealed some new imprints for younger readers. Now it's DC Zoom for young readers, and DC Ink for young adults. I'm guessing teenagers and such. Both imprints launching in the fall. DC Zoom will feature books aimed at middle school kids, while DC Ink will be for young adults. Bobby Chase will be the executive editor in charge of the imprints, and he explained, quote, "We wanted to go back to what we used to have in comic books, story arcs for younger readers." Yeah, the people that grew up, like, there's a lot of us fans now because we grew up with comics. How are you going to have new fans if they don't also grow up with comics? I actually applaud this. The new imprints will feature some talent from within the industry, but will mostly be filled with existing popular novelists, including Laurie House Anderson, Melissa De La Cruz, Michael Northrop, and Ridley Pearson. Pearson will be writing a Super Sons for DC book for DC Zoom, which will tackle climate change and feature a new character named Candace, who's part of an African dynasty. Additionally, Mariko Tamaki and Steve Pugh will be doing a Harley Quinn graphic novel for DC Zoom. Danielle Page will write a Mera book with popular artist TBD for DC Ink. Superman Smashes the Klan is in the works from Jean Luen Young, and the first DC Zoom book will be DC Superhero Girl, Search for Atlantis by Shay Fontana and Yancey Labatt. If you look at readership in middle school and young adult in general, you'll see a swing on the side of female readers, likely earning a spat of angry YouTube videos as the company targets a female audience. Well, it's not that. I mean, if these are good and not preachy, it's what I care about. I don't just get mad just because it's for females. Like, come on. I mean, there are those like that, but it's like usually what I get mad at. It's like, oh, you're just shoehorning this in, and and like, or they're either shoehorning stuff in, or instead of just like making people look good, it's like, or like, yay, it's good work for females. We hate men though. Like, it's possible to bring up certain groups of people without putting other groups down. As long as they don't do that, then I have no problem. Alright, what's next? My final thing, FGC news. Alright. So this is all about BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, or mostly anyways, and first piece of news about it is, of course, you guys, if you haven't heard already, Yang and Blake, the two Ruby characters that aren't going to be in the game at launch, and they say will be DLC, won't cost a penny. It has been confirmed that these characters are free permanently, and that the only reason they weren't in at launch is because by the time the game came out, or they still would have been working on it, on those two characters, and they didn't have enough time to just put them in the game. And the reason why the game's launch is that soon, May 31st for Japan and June 5th for North America, by the way, is that they want to get this game out with enough time for people to get their practice in for EVO. Kind of like what Street Fighter V did, but fortunately, hopefully, this won't have all those same pitfalls as Street Fighter V before Arcade Edition. Hopefully, there's a story mode and all that stuff. Hopefully, it will have content. Because some people, believe it or not, some people buy these games, and they don't care about being competitive. They just want to play with their friends and play the stories. Who knew? They just wanted to have fun. Or have casual matches, which is still having fun. The other piece of news about the game is that it will have an English dub. BlazBlue has not gotten an English dub in 2 years. Central Fiction came out with just Japanese language only, subtitles only, no English audio. And it has been announced during a live stream with Jonathan Cloud 805 Morales, who was a Battle for Stones champ, that the game will be subbed and dubbed with a localization. This, along with Dragon Ball FighterZ, breaks Arx's streak for that 2 years, where... Longer than that, no. 2 years, because, this year just started. Since 2015, they haven't had an English dub in their games. So, good to see Arxis working harder, and hopefully this DLC debacle isn't too crazy with Cross Tag Battle. First I was hyped, then I wasn't, now I'm tepid about the game. Meaning, I'm, cautiously optimistic. 16-Bit Jeff is hype. I'm cautiously optimistic right now. And that's it for the news. That's it for me. Like always, follow me on social media below. Tell me what you want me to cover. Join our Discord, and you can tell me directly. Or social media, you can @ me. Or leave a comment, whatever. I can't read you guys' minds. I always say this. If you want me to cover something, let me know. And I'll go back to resting up my back and trying to finish that other video that I had planned to animate not really animated, more like animatic. That video was supposed to come out in friggin' December, but I was working on a manga project that I rushed on, but really wanted to get that out, so I worked on it all that month. January was oof. So I finally have time to work on it, and then it hurt my back. It's like, again, it's already been recorded. I just need to just draw the things and boom. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, I'll get that animatic done. Finally. Fighter Cow signing out. I don't know what else to say. Let me just go.